Hello friend, today we are discuss how to overlay image in video. The overlay basically means that if you video is running and in behind the glass, transparent glass, we can show it here. Okay, and in that glass we can draw the any rectangle, circle, yeah, freehand text. You can that text we can constant, but video can be running simultaneously. The overlay basically not affected to the original video. This is a image, we can show it to the about the video iframe, and that's why we using the canvas. The canvas is a graphic web draw to apply on the web page. Now we how to use that overlay to in a video. We can start here. First we show the result. Okay, after that we can explain step by step how to do that, and one by one we can explain you what we can do that, and what we doing basically. Okay, now we start here. Okay, now here this is my output. This is my two frame iframe. Okay, and this is a input and this is a output. Here we have provided the colors, different color we can provide it. Now here the eraser and rectangle and the draw text. Okay, suppose we click on the rectangle, and if you say that the video viewer can be saw that particular portion. Okay, portion, then is that portion we can user can focusly that particular videos. Okay, then if you draw any simple see here. Okay, and you can draw that, and that text you can show it in about the rectangle, and you can save it. Okay, now here this is a video. If you run that video, okay, now here you can see the video can be running. Okay, and the girls can be that particular select that particular cloth, and after that the video can be continuously running. But the rectangle, this is a overlay, cannot be affected that particular video. Okay, now that video, if you right click, and if actually we are the send image data. Okay, this is a overlay image. If you copy, okay, and we suppose this is my original result. Okay, we refresh it. Okay, and same video we here. Okay, now we apply, we can running that video, but here the rectangle is not show it here. Okay, now we apply that rectangle. We go to the code, and this is HTML code. Here we only iframe and image data. The iframe is running, but the image not show it here. Now we paste that particular code here. Okay, this is overlay image data in the PNG format, and now we refresh that result here. Okay, now this is the result, we can show it here, and this is rectangle can be here. Now we can run the same, the video can be running, but the not affected to the original video. The original video is behind running. Okay, and that's why the we can use the overlay, and here we can apply the canvas. Okay, now we go to the code. Okay, this is a overlay code, HTML code here. Okay, now this is a JavaScript code, we can start here. Okay, and this is overall JavaScript code. Okay, now in below this is a body part. Okay, and in that body, after that HTML. Now body, in that we call to the init method, because whenever we start the running that particular HTML file, overlay HTML file, then init method can be successfully running. Okay, now here we create a first canvas. Okay, and after that we actually saw the colors, the different colors here. Okay, and this is a eraser, and yeah, same thing, it is a buttons here. One has a rectangle buttons, and second has a if you draw the text, the text also there. Okay, and this is output iframe. Okay, this is output image. Here we can see this is the image, we can the video path we can send it here. This is my local path, we can send it. If you have a server side, you can run the server path also here. Okay, and now here the two button there, the one has a save, and the second has a erase. Okay, and this is a iframe, this is a original frame. Okay, this is a code. Now we go to the init method. Here this is a variable we can define here. in that basically we provide different functionalities. Some as a color. If you has a blue color, you can select the freehand. Okay, if you select a rectangle, then he can select the blue color of a rectangle. If you draw the text, you can show the here text also. This is a different way we can apply. Okay, and that's why we call to the JavaScript. Whenever click the rectangle, then rectangle function can be called. Whenever we click the draw text, then draw text, so JavaScript will be called. Okay, that's why we use a variable. Okay, this is a prefix current text. Okay, pre x axis, y axis. Here now we this is a basic means a very important things. Basically has a x coordinate and y coordinate, and the height and width, these are very important. Okay, now has a start x and start y, offset and offset x, offset y. Basically whenever we create a rectangle, that time we has a start that particular point to end that particular point. Okay, when suppose if you create a rectangle, then that time has a that point has a x coordinate to y coordinate, and this is a y this is a x to y2, that coordinate. Okay, if you has a freehand, if you has a freehand, then you can has a this is a point. Okay, this is a point, you can show it freehand. Okay, now here this is a init method. Now this is a canvas element. Okay, this is a whenever we draw the rectangle, yeah, image, anything, this is that particular id, and that id we get, and in that we get the context 2d, and that ctx. Okay, now we has a document.get element by scrum. Okay, the scrum has my videos. Okay, this is a videos that about the image, means here you can see this is a now you can see the this is a canvas id. Okay, and now here this is my original video. Okay, you can saw the iframe above the image can be showed here. Okay, this is if you right click and you can check the inspect element. Now here you can see that this is a canvas here. Okay, it means the video above the canvas here. If you click on double click on that particular video, the video cannot be running because the video in above the one layer is there, that layer has a overlay. Okay, this is the overlay layer is there, and that layer we can draw the anything. You draw the rectangle, you draw the circle, yeah, any freehand you can draw it here, and this is the original image, original iframe. Okay, same thing we can apply here also. If you check that this is a video frame, this is a iframe. Okay, in above we can use as a overlay image. Okay, if this is an image, we can show it here. Okay, those results we can update it. Now here this is a init method. In that we find out the canvas height, width. Okay, and this is a stroke style, and the ctx line width. Okay, and this is a canvas body rectangle. This is bounding the rectangle, client rectangle. This is offset value, and in that we left and top. This is a deep predefined values we can identify. This is a offset x, offset y, scroll x, scroll y. This is a scrolling point we can identify here, and after that this is a original image height and original image video width. This is not a compulsory, this is we are identify. Now here whenever we click the any mouse movement, that he can move the full freehand. That time we can call it as a listener, add event listener. This is a canvas. The canvas has an object, we can give one dot add element event element listener, and here this is a mouse event, and we call to the find x. Okay, whenever we mouse is down, then that function can be occur. Whenever the mouse will be up, then up function will occur. Whenever the mouse is moved, then that function will occur. Whenever the mouse is out of the canvas, then that function will occur. This is a way we can do that. This is a listener. Basically this is a mouse, the mouse listener. Whenever the mouse will be outside the canvas, then that function will be occurs. Whenever the mouse is inside the canvas, then that time he check the movement. Okay, and he check this down, yeah, up, that also that option will be occurs. Okay, now here this is a function, the handle mouse down Okay, and this is e dot prevent default and stop propagation. Here this is a prevent, whenever the any mouse event occur, we are required to prevent what basically the user occurring. Okay, means suppose this is a arrow, the arrow is move, yeah, arrow is down, arrow is left, arrow is right side, arrow is left side, that is we required the movement, and that's why we the stop propagation, and we get the x coordinate and y coordinate using the client x and offset x. Okay, this is a we required, and we required a flag. The flag wise we identify key the more the user has basically the freehand draw, the user is basically as a draw the rectangle, anything we can identify that particular flag wise. Okay, this is a handle mouse up functionality, and this is a mouse down functionality. With this is here the we have actually the draw the flag, means identify the flag here, and now here this is we draw the freehand values. Okay, now here the clear rectangle, whenever we create a rectangle, okay, that time we actually do the mouse x-axis, mouse y-axis. Okay, and we now here the fill style. The fill style means basically when we draw the rectangle, that color will be possible to hear that code because of the fill the style. Okay, and the smoke, this is a style way, by default he used that particular style, and this is a line width, how many the line width means is a width size, that particular border. Okay, and this is a draw the rectangle, whenever we create a rectangle, the ct dot clear text, the first comma 0 and the canvas width and canvas height. Okay, this is a code, we get the width and height, the current height and current width, and that time we can get the rectangle. Okay, this is a rectangle code here, and this is a different color we can show it here, the green, blue, red, yellow, that color we can identify. Whenever we click that particular color, he get the x value will be changed here. Okay, the x value will be changed. Now here the functionality is a draw the color. Okay, draw anything means the ctx behind behind the path, that functionality we can call it here. After that, the current ctx basically has a cursor pointer, he moved to the means the previous x value and previous y value. Now has a line draw, then he can current x value and current y. Suppose we line draw to that portion to that portion, then the previous value is this, and that is a current value is this. Now the line will be drawn to that way. Okay, that's why we require the previous value and we require the current value, and this is a stroke and this is a close path. Whenever you start the draw anything, first we require the beginning path and then require a close path, because the different rectangle, yeah, areas we can require here. Okay, that's why we say that. Okay, now this is a erase function. Whenever we click that particular erase, suppose we go back and we click on that erase, now he clear the every feature. Okay, that's why in that here we can clear the clear text at 0,0 and height width, the total the windows we can clear everything. Okay, that's why we erase that functionality, and now here we are defining the predefined values there, that value will be blank. Okay, and this is the save method. Whenever we save that button, then that image will be get, and that result will be consolidated here. You can actually we have saw that, and that url we can paste it to the result html. Okay, that's why we get it here. And whenever if you rectangle, suppose we create a rectangle here. Okay, now we save it, then that rectangle will be affected to the here, and that value will be stored in that canvas. If you right click, and you can check that output will be printed here. You can go up, yeah. Now here this is a value. Okay, the same value if you copy, okay, and you can copy that particular value, and you actually we are create a one html file, the simple html file, because the user can that value can be show it to different page also in html, right? That's why we separate file we created, in that we actually use the iframe and image. Okay, and we save it, and this window has basically the result. Now here we can see the perfect the rectangle can be showed here. You can check here also. Okay, we can close that, and you can check that particular rectangle same portion we can show it here. This is a way. Okay, now same this is a rectangle, this is a find x basically has a freehand. Now here we can pre-x the value, current value, and the left side value we can show it here. This is a flag. Okay, whenever the freehand means suppose we back to the result. If this is a freehand means suppose click on if you click on the color. Okay, now here this is a freehand. Okay, we start that point here to here, this is a freehand here. Okay, that's why means suppose if you clear that particular video and if you freehand, this is a way. Okay, now here that time we use the function, we can call it to the find x value, and this is a we check the particular value has a down, yeah it's up. Now we can down, if you code that in that particular code will be running here, and that particular fill that particular rectangle, yeah fill that particular colors. Okay, and this is a way. If you has a up and out, up means if you outside the canvas and outside the canvas, that time has a flag has a false. Okay, if you inside and move that particular portion, then you can check the current portion, current x value, current y value, and that value will be show it, and we draw the function. Draw function we can you can check in above. Okay, if you go back to the draw, okay, this is a function to the draw function. Now here we say that it is a beginning path and this is a close path, and here we can draw the file. This is a very difficult to understand because we actually every functionality we can draw it here, but if you use step by step, first you create a rectangle, then you can create a freehand, you can use text, then it is very easy. Okay, suppose if you suppose this is a freehand text code. Okay, now here the rectangle, in the rectangle we actually the remove the previous listener means whenever click the rectangle, that time we remove the freehand portion, we remove the text portion, because he focus only the rectangle. That's why we use a remove listener. Okay, remove event listener, that's why we use remove event listener. Okay, and here this is a mouse up mouse down. This is basically has a that the whenever draw the text, that time that functionality will occur. Whenever draw the freehand draw, that time hand move up down, that function will occur. That's why we remove that listener and we only call to the rectangle function. And here this is a hand mouse movement, hand mouse down, hand mouse up, hand mouse out, that function will occur. Okay, that's why we call it here, and the remaining part we are remove that particular listener whenever click the rectangle. Okay, this is a simple code. And now here we actually use here the we text hide text means in that we enter the text, that text will be in show it as a left side of the top corner, right? That time you can show it here, but now that text will be here we can pass it the text height. Okay, and this is the handler mouse down, this is a text function. Whenever the text move, that time that portion we get the particular coordinate, and that coordinate will be pasted here, and this is a text will be show it here. Okay, this is a way. If you move that particular text, then the selected text flag will be -1. Here we text has a text flag we using as a selected text. If you use as a flag any flag, you can identify whenever the value should not be affected if your cursor is outside the canvas. Okay, that's why we required here. And this is the handler mouse 1. Basically same thing, we get first check the text has a inside the canvas, then we return false. Otherwise if you inside the canvas, then we check the mouse x point, mouse y point, basically the client e dot client x minus offset x. Okay, this we required. Yeah, same thing we apply in the tx value, mouse x mouse y, the text here also, and the text x coordinate and y coordinate. If you go back to the, if you draw the text here, that text will be moved to up down up down. Okay, here we can show it here. Okay, that's right, this is a movement. If you right click and you can check the console here, we can print here. Okay, if you clear the text. Okay, and now here suppose we clear everything. Okay, and draw the text. Now here we can see if you go. Okay, Now here see, the value should be, if you clear that console, you can value see, you can see the handler mouse event will be changed every time. Okay, that's why we required very means we are explaining very difficult, because this is a mouse handler event we are required, because every time we check the mouse will be up, yeah, down. That's why this is a very difficult to explaining me. Now here this is a text, that the text x coordinate, text y coordinate. Now we are draw the text. Okay, this is a functionality to draw the text. If you go that particular function, now here this is a text, we check that particular text has a previously rectangle is there. If you rectangle there, then rectangle will be show it here, after that text will be showed here, because what happening whenever we draw the text, that time rectangle will be removed and text will be showed here. That's why we show the previous rectangle, because the rectangle is also required and the text also required. That's why we show it the one value of the rectangle here, and we paste it and we draw the rectangle using cts store rectangle. Now after that we draw the text, we are using cts dot fill text. The text comma text dot text means it is a message, and this is a text x coordinate and text y coordinate. And this whenever we create a rectangle, this is the left corner of the x coordinate, left corner of the y coordinate, and of the top of the left top corner of the x coordinate, left top corner of the y coordinate. And this is of the height and width. Okay, this is a height and width. That time we create a rectangle. Okay, that way we can show it here. And yeah, this is a code. We can you can understand how to create a text. Whenever we draw the text, that time we listener remove, that listener has a freehand listener, we can remove it here. And the rectangle also listener we can remove here. And we only listening for the draw text method. Okay, this is a three, actually in the code we actually three portion we can explain here. The first as a we create a rectangle, second as a we can freehand draw, and third as a text. Whenever we call to the text, that time the above the two portion will be disabled. Whenever we freehand draw, that time we the draw text is disable, rectangle function to disable using remove event listener. Okay, whenever call to the rectangle, that time freehand functionality disable and draw text functionality will be disabled. Okay, here you can see this is a mouse handler one functionality has basically has a draw text functionality. The whenever the draw is move, that time if that functionality comes, whenever the draw text is down, that time that functionality occur. Whenever the mouse means the text value, draw text value is upside, means is outside the canvas, that time that function occur. And same time outside the corner, that time same function occur. And this is a handler mouse out is basically that part of the portion is basically whenever draw the rectangle. The handler mouse up means whenever create a rectangle, we check the mouse as a move, yeah, down, all functionality we check that particular function. And whenever we freehand code, that time we use a find x functionality we use. In that we check the flag, this is a move, yeah, up, and we check the event also. We can if you go back to the freehand, that time we can if you back, this is a freehand code. Okay, here we check the down, up, and we check the e has basically check the client x minus offset x. This is a code we can explain you. This is a step by step you can understand. Okay, we can explain you. This is a text, this is HTML code. In that we use a script method using type.txt, and here we declare the predefined values. The starting, the all values would be 0, and the somehow we are aware sometimes we require the arrays and dictionary. That's why that is dictionary and array will be blank here. Okay, now the selected text we are required whenever draw the text, that time we required the text result. And a text result, whenever we add the text, that time we append that particular text. Because suppose first time you enter the C here, that text will be appended. Next time you say please check that particular box, that text will be append to text result. And the rectangle result, we actually create a array, because whenever create a rectangle, the after that you draw the text, that time the rectangle value will be stored in here. Okay, and this is a result and this is a text. And ease down, basically whenever you use a freehand code, that time by default free ease down is false. Okay, and now this is a flag, we can use it here. Okay, and by default color has a yellow. Whenever if you not selected anything, if you suppose if you refresh that particular page, okay, the by default yellow color should be showed here. Why? Because we define as a yellow. Okay, and y2 will be defined here. This is, and now here the init method we define in that. This is a basic it is important parts here. Basically the document dot get element by id and canvas dot get context 2d. Okay, this is the image, and we can store we get the x coordinate, height and edge width. We first get the canvas height, canvas width, and we also get the store style, store line width. Okay, if you refer the WT screw of the canvas, this is very simple. Here we can show it here, how the canvas basically has a graphic draw on the web page. Okay, now here we can show it has basically how to create a canvas. Okay, you can simply explain the IDs and width and height. Same thing, if you draw the line, then you can use as a ct.line to. Okay, here same code we can refer here. If you create a circle, that time we can use as a beginning path, and it is a circle path. Okay, now if you use a text, then you can use as a CTS font color. Here also this is whenever you draw the text, that time we required a font font I mean said that font, which font we refer. Okay, and this is a fill text, basically has a message, comma, x coordinate and y coordinate. Okay, and if you has a different gradient use, you can use that circular gradient, you can use that. Okay, and you can use the image also here. Okay, this is a very simple tutorial, you can refer. Actually we can use that tutorial. Okay, and we create that particular functionality. Here we have different colors, so there if you click the red color, then red color will be show. If you click on the blue, then blue color will be show it here, because the x value will be changed here. On click functionality we can apply here. Okay, now if you erase that particular functionality, then you can erase that particular functionality. If you create a rectangle, then you can create a rectangle also here. Now here the erase we apply, that's why the width will be changed. If you refresh that particular if you clear that particular if you not refresh, if you clear that particular, now you can go back, you can refresh that page. If you click that rectangle, by default yellow color can be showed here. Now here you can see the below part. Okay, anything message you can show it here. Okay, and you can here, then that message will be show it here. Okay, and if you save it, that then same message will be applied to the that result. Basically why we required that two videos, because the first video will be to apply anything, and that video, same video can apply here. And if you that video apply on different HTML page, then you can use as a the image data. We can actually say that data we can get it here. Okay, that data will be here. That code actually you can this is a init method, I can explain. Means, yeah, this is a mouse draw event, mouse up event, mouse out event. Okay, this is basically whenever draw the rectangle. Okay, whenever you draw the rectangle, that function will be useful. Okay, now here the colors part. Okay, and this is a draw part. Okay, whenever you draw the color, that will be show it here. And this is a erase. First time we confirm message, are you sure want to clear that want to clear, then yes, then that code will be apply here. Okay, now this is a save part here, and this is a final output. We are actually whenever we save, that means if you click on that save, then that image will be stored here. Okay, now you can check, if you click that, the image will be showed here. This is image will be applied to the result part. If you paste it here, okay, and if you copy and if you paste same in result part, okay, that time will be the same result will be showed to result part. Okay, this actually we means if you not show result in same page, if you result show in a different page, then you can use that way also. Okay, this is the way we can do it that. Okay, this is the two part the two means the two way we can define the result in on same page, yeah, result in different page. You can paste the URL. Okay, now here now here we can show the find xy basically has a freehand text. We check the first current x value, current y value, we check the flag, and after that we draw the rectangle, draw the freehand value. Okay, and now here this is x basically as a color, the field that particular color, and up down the flag will be false. If we move, then we change the value, height, width, and draw the value. Same thing whenever the rectangle is drawn, that time we disable the mouse event, means the freehand event, and we disable the text event. Okay, and now we activate only the rectangle methods, right? That's why we refer that way. Okay, this is a way we can do that. This is a method whenever the draw the text, that movement will be occur, and this is a text message, and we are send it to the method. Okay, this is a method, the text message method, freehand method. Okay, that's it. Now here the convex path here. Okay, here the position we can define, and this is a div basically as a color we can define yellow, green, blue, yellow, and that will be clickable function. This is a color function will be on click, we call to the function as a click function. Okay, now here this is a erase function rectangle. Whenever click on the rectangle button, then we call to the rectangle function. Whenever to draw the text, that time we call to the text method. Okay, this is a method we can occur, and this is a output iframe, and this is a output image. Okay, here we can store the image. If you copy the id and you can find out the value, here we can store the value here. Now style dot value is none. Okay, if you okay, now here the value can be stored data URL, that URL we paste it here. Okay, now here we store the URL, that's why we result will be open it here. Okay, now this is a button, the save button and erase button. When we click on the save, that time the save button is occur. If you click on the erase function will be called it here. Yeah, that's it. If you have any doubt regarding the overlay, please comment out. I will whenever we are free, I will reply you. Okay, very simple. We can use that. If you use suppose in that scenario we actually not affected to original video, the original video will be safe. We apply to the different image, that image will be overlaid to the video. That's why we not affected to video. If you affected that particular video, then you can use as a open cv. Then that time you pass the video to that open cv, and you can draw the any text, and if you get that output, the output will be attached to the overlay also. That way will be applied, but this is the front end side we can apply it here. We are using the canvas. Okay, if you have any doubt regarding the canvas, you can use the canvas html w3 school. This is very simply understanding. Okay, you can refer that. Here we explain the output will be showed in a same page. Yeah, if you output is in a different page, that will be apply here. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much to watching my video. Please subscribe my channel and share my video. Thank you guys.